Hello, everybody. We're going to get started. If you guys want to grab a seat, you're also welcome to stand. Don't feel like you have to sit down, but we certainly have plenty of seats if anybody wants to get comfortable up front. Don't be shy. It's not high school. We can sit in the front row. All right. Welcome to the special Canadian edition of the Pipeline Awards. This is the fifth time we've done this. It's actually my first time even attending one of these ceremonies, which of course means I volunteered to MC. So please hold your heckling to the end. And anything I do wrong, we're all engineers and TDs here, product managers, all that type of thing. We're really good at giving feedback. That's part of our job. So, real quick, before we get going, I wanted to say thank you for everybody who came to the Developer Day. We had a great time. It was a huge effort on the part of a large number of people at Shotgun, but we really appreciate you guys coming out. This is our chance to say thank you to everybody, both for the Developer Day and just for doing the work that you do in the industry. I'm a pipeline guy. We have a ton of them in the room. I know a lot of you guys here with us today do that kind of work, and we want to take a chance to say thank you for all the hard work that you guys do. The beer glasses are yours. At the end of the night, you can take this home with you. We do this every year, so if you want to come back next year, we'll have a different beer glass for you then too, I'm sure. You can't have this one. This one's mine. I claimed it by licking it and then drinking out of it, but there are plenty of more. We won't run out. The beer is Canadian as well to continue with the theme. I'm wearing my poutine t-shirt. So we're ready to go. So without further ado, we have 4 winners this year. We got a ton of really great submissions, and a group of us had the unenviable task of trying to narrow that down to a short list of people that we could recognize. But just because we ended up with 4 doesn't mean that there wasn't a huge amount of work that went into all of the other submissions. And we had a really good time of taking a look at what everybody's been working on. We're in a really privileged position where we are to work with so many clients all around the world in different industries, focusing on different aspects of the visual effects, animation, design studios, everything you can possibly imagine. And we get a chance to see, either privately or in the context of something like this, like the Pipeline Awards or at SIGGRAPH, a lot of the work that you guys do, whether it's Shotgun related or not, and it's really inspiring for us personally. And we take a lot of direction from you guys to try to make our product better, to make our developer ecosystem better, to speak specifically to the team that I'm on. So real quick, let's take a look at the first of our winners. Turret connects Shotgun and Pixar's USD to create a lightweight file resolver architecture that works across a range of content creation software. Turret has been the cornerstone of the studio's USD-based scene descriptor system plugin and has transformed the overall workflow to push the latest data automatically rather than requiring artists to pull data as needed. By assembling their scenes using Pixar's USD and using Shotgun to handle file abstraction and versioning, the educational facility has combined learning about cutting-edge pipeline technology with building a system that would allow them to rapidly author content and track it in Shotgun. So this was put together. You can see the names there: Daniel, Ben, Wen, and Diego. This is really awesome work because, we provide really robust integration tools built around Python, but not every single system that exists in the industry. DCCs, things like USD, building plugins for these things aren't necessarily Python-based. And so what these guys did at Animalogic Academy was to put together a system that allowed them to take advantage of the published file entity inside of Shotgun to abstract away absolute file paths on disk and get those things into a scene assembly workflow built around USD, which is really cool work to see. We love USD. We're hoping to get more acquainted with it in the future, and we love seeing it spread throughout the industry. So real quick, we have a video that shows off a little bit of what they took care of, so we'll take a look at that now. So real quick, before I call the guys up here to accept their award, I wanted to point out something. We have actually 2 awards this time. We have our traditional trophies that everybody will get, but we also have something that was made in-house by one of our own, Michael Kessler, who I don't think is here right now, unfortunately. I was going to embarrass him by making him stand up. He worked late Sunday night to actually put together some medallions for everybody that we attached to these lovely red ribbons. So not only will you get your lovely kinetic sculpture trophy, you'll actually get something handmade by one of the Shotgun street engineers. So, without further ado, guys, come on up. I know Diego's here, at the very least. And also, these are not attached, so be very careful. I'm going to hand it to you. Yeah, I don't think it's breakable, though. That's a good thing. And we're also going to give you 2, 3. There are 4 of you guys, right? Ooh, we can do this. My goodness. So, you guys can hang on to 2 of these, and we'll send you home with 2 more for your compatriots as well.
Great. Thank you.
Have at the microphone. You're welcome to say whatever you would like.
We're accepting this on behalf of Ben and Wen, our 2 students who did the bulk of the work on this project. So I know you guys are watching back home, so good work. Just a quick thanks to all the students back home at Etymologic Academy, Shotgun for the award, our head of Academy, Zoe Diamond, who is very kindly filming. Anyone I forget?
Yeah, all the technical team in the academy. What we do in the academy is push forward with the technology, and this year Daniel decided to use USD, and we were like, holy moly, we need to use it.
What could possibly go wrong, right?
Yeah, and we did, and it worked, so it's really good, really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Very cool. Thank you, guys. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next tool we're going to take a look at, I think everyone will agree when you see the video, the breadth of the functionality that you're about to witness in one artist-oriented dashboard is pretty substantial. So just to give you a little bit of background, Lyle is a dashboard where artists, production teams, TDs, and support staff can manage data associated with the projects they are working on. It provides artists an in-context view into the work that's assigned to them, as well as an easy access to associated files and metadata that they need to do their job well. Production and support teams have access to a rich set of functionality that provides a simple, robust way to manage file ingestion and client deliveries, and TDs have everything they need to manage the structure of a project on disk right at their fingertips. Something that struck all of us immediately upon looking at this submission was the polish that went into the tool and the breadth of the functionality, as I mentioned previously. It does a lot of stuff. And it does a lot of stuff that I think any of us who have worked in pipeline at a studio will recognize as being very, very common problems that need to be solved for every single studio that's out there. And what Eden did was put it all together into a single dashboard app that looks like it can handle pretty much anything you throw at it. So rather than me continue to talk about it, let's take a look at what Eden put together so that we can
Lyle is a file
hear it in his
browsing
words.
system. When you log in with your Shotgun account, there is a Shotgun dashboard for the artist. The search page allows you to search for all of the task files by a powerful filter called Pathfinder. Artists can make their own Pathfinder filters. It's possible to search all of the movie files of the specific shots you want. Files can be stored by drag and drop into the basket. And when you right-click on the list, there are several menus available. If you want to import files, just drag and drop them into the DCS tool. In the file management, you can validate files and copy it to a directory you want. If a retimed blade is required, this function can execute the retime using the information on the Shotgun. Using the same technique to convert files with the information on Shotgun. In this panel, you can access to many information of shots such as color, file types, FPS, lead, data name, lens, or any of information from Shotgun. Task template page allows the TD to pre-organize the task folder structure and add a nuke script for initial setup. So that was a look at Live's features, and this is Eden from First Creative Party. Thanks for watching.
Pretty polished looking, isn't it? Like if I had written a tool like that when I was working for a studio, I'd be extremely proud of it, and you guys should be too, Eden especially. So how about you come on up, Eden? I know you're here. Careful, that is not attached, but it is yours, and I'll grab you a medallion as well. You can take with you your homemade medallion, and you are welcome to.
I think video is very fast. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shotgun and Autodesk. And there's my crew, my company, First Creative Party, that gives me a very good opportunity to attending this SIGGRAPH 2018. So thank you to Post Creative Party. I developed for file browsing system, and since we started using the Shotgun, and I use it Shotgun API to develop a more powerful and more strong AI. So thanks to Shotgun development team, and yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. If we can do it. All right, third on our list of 4. This Shotgun Slate, and unfortunately Paul can't be here to join us today. So I'm going to read his thank you speech after we watch the video. But I do have a little bit to say about it. Part of what we try to do when we're picking the winners each year is to get a bit of variety in our pool of winners. And I think this sort of tickles the area of it where we're looking at bang for your buck type of tools. This is a common problem with anybody who's ever dealt with a live action set. Getting set data ingested into whatever your production tracking system is usually a chore. Taking the set data down while you're on set is usually a chore. And what they've done is they've built a Slate app for an iPad that will allow them to build their actual physical slates that they hold in front of the camera in between takes. And at the same time, as they're building this slate, that data is actually being entered into Shotgun. So they're sort of making that connection between what they're filming on set and what's going into their production tracking system, which is Shotgun, as close as possible, and to try to reduce the amount of middleman work that has to happen to get what's happening on set into production tracking for post-work. So acting as a digital slate, this tool records on-set data during shoots and pulls shot data from Shotgun to efficiently fill out the slate and key information like camera type, lens, and focal length. The slate itself runs on an iPad and is captured for each plate shot and then stored within Shotgun. Shotgun Slate offers an effective way to manage many plates, significantly speeding up the process on set. It almost doesn't do it justice to break it down into a set of features, because I think that close connection between people working on set and people working on post is something that a lot of studios have struggled with. And this is a very small group, Zoho, that has managed to make themselves efficient by putting something like this together. And it looks really cool. It's in that, I was telling Don earlier, you have like the Venn diagram of things that are simple and things that are useful. It's in that perfect little center section where you overlap, and it's super useful. Saves a lot of people a lot of time, and as you'll see, simple to use. Piece of cake, right? So like I said, they're not here to accept their award. We have their trophy. We have their medallion. We'll be sending it to them directly. So, real quick, I will read, I'm sorry, I have to go back. I will read the thank you speech for Paul. And he says, thank you I feel very honored to stand out among all the great talent gathered. The award is unexpected, as the competition was serious and all projects showed powerful results. I'm just standing on the shoulders of giants. Thank you very much. And he's very curious to meet us all sometime in the future when he can. And very warm regards from Rotterdam, both figuratively and literally. I guess it's warm there right now. So I'm going to have to skip really quickly. Now we'll move on to our last winner, which is Territory Toolkit from Territory Studio. This is the work of an entire team working together. Matt Brealey was the lead designer, and he wanted to make it very clear that it was much more work than just him. He had an entire team around him to help do this. And Territory Toolkit is a suite of plugins for Adobe Creative Cloud applications in Cinema 4D, giving Territory's motion graphics artists a shotgun-based structure and level of control directly within their chosen application. While VFX applications like Maya and Nuke are already supported by Shotgun, this proprietary tool bridges the gap between Territory's VFX team and motion graphics team, allowing for smooth transition between all DCC apps the studio uses and eliminating problematic and time-consuming manual data entry tasks. And on a personal note, we all know that naming things is incredibly difficult. Anytime we write a tool, we have to come up with a name for it. And usually we either come up with the simple, obvious thing that doesn't sound too catchy, or we spend all of our days trying to figure out a clever name for what we've come up with. And I wanted to point out, it's not highlighted here, but Territory's pipeline is named Terry, which is delightful, and it makes me want to pet it like a little puppy. And we can all hope, sincerely, that they take on crew planning sometime in the next year, so that next year we can give a tool award out for Terry Crews. You can thank my wife for that one. She has blue hair. She's back there. That wasn't my fault, I promise. So without further ado, let's take a look at the video that they recorded.
Territory Studio is a motion graphics and visual effects specialist with a varied output that includes films, games, brands and experiential installations. In the film industry, our creative skill set means that we work with both art departments and VFX teams on set and in post-production. Shotgun Toolkit provided us with a stable foundation for our pipeline. The out-of-the-box support for software like Nuke and Maya meant that we could get the VFX part of our pipeline set up with very little development time. We were then faced with the challenge of supporting the rest of the company to the same level. Territory's work as a motion graphics studio meant that we used software packages not normally seen in a motion picture VFX pipeline. Our challenge was to integrate Cinema 4D, After Effects and Illustrator into our Shotgun pipeline. The solution to this problem was Territory Toolkit, a single cross-platform JavaScript, HTML and Python-based plugin that runs in Cinema 4D and the Adobe Creative Suite. Artists select the context that they're working in, and then they're presented with a list of tools configured for the application and the project context. Territory Toolkit also allows us to run Shotgun projects entirely from inside the app. Lead creatives can use the app to modify settings and create entities that all feed back to the Shotgun database. We are excited for the future of Territory Toolkit. Now that we have a stable platform to build our pipeline on, we can support projects of any size or shape and help artists excel at their work.
It's awesome work, and it's a really cool video at the same time. They obviously put a lot of effort into that, and we appreciate it. So it bridges a gap that we haven't done a very good job of at Shotgun ourselves. We already mentioned that we provide very good support for Python. Until very recently, we haven't done a good job of supporting outside of our sort of core set of Python-capable DCC applications. And what Territory did was they jumped on it and they solved the problem for themselves. And we love seeing that kind of initiative and that kind of effort to build pipeline systems like this that bring two disparate teams that would otherwise be working in different ways together so that they can all work the same way between the design and the VFX side of things. So really great job. Matt couldn't be here with us, but I believe we have the creative director from Territory. If he is available and wants to come up, he can certainly have it. Marty, nice to meet you. I'll hand you your kinetic sculpture and ask you to be careful.
Okay. All right.
And just one moment, we've got to make this awkward. We've got to get that as well.
Perfect. Well, I have to say, like, I'm here representing an amount of work from London team, from San Francisco team, to Al, to Sean, to the whole sysadmin team that allowed us to really, they make our life easy, like you guys do with products like Toolkit, and to be able to have these guys on the back end creating these tools for, again, two teams that they maybe not work together sometimes, to be able to collaborate and have Cinema for the Artists jumping into pipelines, have even After Effects and Adobe products mixed into that way of working, and in productions like Ready Player One or Pacific Rim, which we're talking about 700 shots, and working with different shops like ILM and Double Negative, to have these guys in the back, in the back end of the studio, creating those tools is something that it really, really allow us to save time and focus on the creative. So thanks to them. I mean, this is definitely as a team effort for them, and I'm just here just collecting it. But thanks also to Shotgun for all the support and all the team behind Autodesk. So yeah, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Glad you could make it. That's it. That's our 4. How about we quit with the formal stuff and we grab a beer and just have a good time? Thanks, guys. We appreciate you coming out.